Hey guys, it's been a while. Um, 9 months to be exact. Uh, Probably wonder why I even bothered to come back and say this, but I feel like it's time I finally talk about everything that has happened in the past 9 months. Now, I'm gonna start this by prefacing a few things. Um, First of all, this is just gonna be me talking. There's not gonna be any cuts. There's not gonna be any editing or anything. I'm just starting the recording, talking, stopping it, and just uploading it. So yeah. Um, First of all, the person I am now is not the person I am, or I was, 9 months ago, the last time you saw me. Everything in my life has changed. Everything. I mean, there's so much I could talk about, and I'll try my best to. If I really went into detail, this could easily be like 3 hours long. But 2025 was the craziest year of my life, and there were very good things, and there were very, very bad things. Um, there were crazy ups and downs, and I honestly was just trying to make it through. I'm gonna be honest, and I'll explain that. I have a water here, so I'm gonna drink it every once in a while, because I'm kind of dehydrated. But I guess I'll start with where I was when I clicked upload on my last video. I had already been struggling with getting videos out during that time. I had written like scripts for 3 different videos, and I attempted to make them, but then either I was like, oh, this could be copyrighted too easily, or I was like, this probably is not going to get views with the people who watch my videos. Um, and I think I just worried too much, so I never really got anything out besides the last video I made. And after that, there was a couple other videos I planned out and had almost finished, but didn't finish. Um, but that was not the main thing I was worrying about, like in life. Because during that era, I was in a serious, serious stage of depression. And I'll talk about it, but some of it I'll have to not go into too much detail on, just to spare you guys, and because this video would get taken down. That's how bad it was. So during this time, I still now live in Tennessee. Not going to disclose where or my address. Please don't dox me. Uh, that'd be sad. But I grew up in this town called Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where all my friends were. The ones that you see, like the bread group. That's where my friends are from, and that's where we grew up together. Really, I shouldn't say grow up together, because I mean, I didn't really like talk to them until uh, I was like, I met them when I was like 12, and really actually became friends with them when I was like 14. Anyways, um, so I moved from New Mexico to Tennessee, um, in 2000 in April 2023. So quite a ways away. It'll be 3 years in 3 months. In 3 months, I will have lived in Tennessee for 3 years, which kind of freaks me out. Time has been going really fast, but when I moved, that honestly ruined everything. I was angry at my parents that they decided to come out here, and part of it me was just angry with myself, because I didn't think I was good enough to keep any of my close connections in Albuquerque alive while I was out here. Because, like, honestly, most relationships that are online or far away that I had thought wouldn't work out. So I just thought I was gonna be lonely, but also I was like, well, there's also opportunities, and I started going to this one public school, and I hated it because it was a giant culture shift. We were in small southern town, Tennessee, so the people there acted different. They talked about different things, and they even talked different. Everything was different, and I felt so excluded from everything. Um, but I still honestly had my friends from Albuquerque, and I would talk to them all the time. And luckily, I shifted schools to this other school, where I actually got a pretty close friend group. And this was still, was this 2020? Yeah, this is still 2023 to 2024. Uh, so during that school year, I built some close connections and I had some friends. But then that summer, everything kind of came crashing down with that friend group. And I was basically back at square one where I felt lonely and I was upset with everything. And I felt like I wanted to go back to Albuquerque where I had my real friends that I still talk to at that point. I should say, not at that point. I still talk to them, like, a lot. Um, so after that, I decided, you know what? Maybe I should just move back. So I planned it uh, with the help of my parents. And we set a date, and that was January 2025 was the when I was supposed to move back. So up until then, I was really excited, and also that's when I started watching My Little Pony, and it was great. That's when I was at my I shouldn't say my peak, but that was when I was one of the happiest out here. One of the happiest eras I was out here, I guess. Um, Especially because that's when my channel started taking off, and I loved making content, and everything just made me happy. Um, but then plans fell through, and I couldn't move back. And honestly, that made me spiral. Uh, on top of a couple other things. During that time, I was still struggling with being lonely because my friend group felt distant at my school, and I did not have the closest connection with my family. So I kind of just felt like anytime I felt like myself was only when I was with my Albuquerque friends over Discord playing video games or just talking or texting. So those were the only times I actually felt like myself. And all the other times I just disassociated and just felt awful. But then things changed at the rolling in of 2025. And when I wasn't able to move, it got really bad, my mental state. I fell into something I never thought I would, which is a deep state of depression. And I started uh, going to therapy, it was online with this person that my dad knew. Not personally, but I don't know. It's a long story. But I started therapy, and he's like this older guy. He's like 50s or his 60s, and I just didn't click with him. I would straight up lie to his face every single session and say, "Yeah, I'm doing better. I was struggling with this, but now I'm good." So I didn't want to confront my problems in front of him, especially because I was like, "Who is this guy? He doesn't know anything about me." So I just straight up lied to him, and honestly, the only time I could really admit that I felt awful and that I was depressed was with those Albuquerque friends. They were really the only people I could be real with, or at least I thought. I didn't think my family would understand because I was like, well, they're not depressed or anything. There's nothing that was really happened to them, and they wouldn't understand because nothing like drastically tragic has happened to me. I just wasn't able to get something I wanted, which was moving back. Um, but it just got worse and worse, and I started feeling really lost. Now, I'm just going to preface this again. Not again, but I mean, again, as in, this is another preface. Um, I have grown up in the Christian faith. Now, this is not me saying that I think all of you um, have to be Christian. I'm not trying to force anything on you guys. I'm just bringing forth my story. So I grew up in a Christian faith. My dad was a pastor, and when he moved, he started working at his church remotely. And I really didn't care that much anymore during this time. I completely threw all that out the window and basically idolized my friends above anything else. And I think part of that is why I got messed up so much, because, you know, I honestly didn't feel like there was any reason for anything. And any failure, I would just remind myself, there's always an escape if you feel bad enough. And that was taking my life. About a year ago, actually, this was late January 2025, I failed an important test. And it crushed me. Because that was just another sign to myself that I was a failure. So when I went home, I'm not going to go into detail, but I attempted. And obviously, I'm still fine. I'm still alive. But that was one of the lowest points of my life. And I was sick of it. I was sick of feeling this way. I was sick of being so sad all the time and just sick of not even knowing who I was. But luckily, during this time, we were planning to move me back in June. And I was like, hey, well, maybe things will look up there. And also during this time, I was taking a few trips back to New Mexico whenever I had school off. And one of those trips also was during Easter. And I decided, hey, how about I get baptized? Because obviously I was going to go to church on Easter anyways in New Mexico. And I was like, hey, I should just take this opportunity because I'm probably not going to get one in a long time and I need an escape. Anything I'll get, I'll take. And that decision changed everything. After I got baptized, I met this group of people online who shared an interest in My Little Pony, but also were Christians. And it started when I came across this page on Instagram Reels, and it meshed the two together in this style I liked, and I was like, that's interesting. So I started following the account. I hadn't like given up on my faith at this point, like completely. I was just kind of like, I mean, yeah, I think God's real and stuff, but like, I don't know. Like that was basically my thought. And a big part of it was like, well, if God's real, why is He letting me feel this sadness and stuff? So that was just like not really associating with it that much anymore. But I started following that account, and they promoted that they were starting a Discord server. Now this sounds like a really weird part of my story. Like, well, it's just a Discord server. Like, what's that gonna do? I mean, Discord servers are infamous for being weird. There's weird things that happen in Discord servers. But this one was different. This one just felt more like a group of people like me. And I really connected with them. And they showed me the part of me that I hadn't known. Because I had still felt lost during that point, but for the first time, I actually felt like I'd found myself. So I had this long spiritual journey, and honestly, it's changed my trajectory in life. And for the first time ever, I can say I know where I'm headed. Not exactly, not step by step, but I know what direction I'm heading. I always had no clue, but finally I know where. And honestly, this channel wasn't really in the picture. I mean, that doesn't mean like I was gonna give up on it completely, uh, but I kind of did because there's more important things that were like right in my face during that time, and everything was changing. So I really just had to grab everything and just have it settle down enough to where I was comfortable because there was new things happening all the time. There's new people I was meeting. There's new places I was going. It's just everything was new. But now that I'm finally at like this sort of at ease place where nothing is changing like it was, um, I think I can really be able to dive deeper, really dive back into the things that I haven't really done, like making videos. So I don't know how many videos I'm gonna make. I don't know when I'm gonna make my videos. I don't know if I'm even gonna make any videos at all. Honestly, um, I hope I will. Um, and it'll obviously be a lot easier now that everything's under control for now. But I just want you guys to know that I'm okay, and that I was not okay back then. So the good news is that I'm okay. The bad news is that I was basically gone for 9 months. Uh, I'm sure most of you guys don't even remember who I am. You're like, when did I subscribe to this guy? Who is this guy? Um, which I mean, that's pretty valid. But I just feel like updating you guys. I don't know what's coming, so I guess just be on the lookout. Um, I'll be around, and um, thank you for everything. Honestly, I never thought that anything I would do would have so much positive feedback and so much recognition. And it sometimes doesn't feel real what's happened. Uh, Not only on this channel, but just everything. So, my life has been crazy. And I only expect it to get even crazier. So, I'm just trying to be smart about the future and work on the things that I know will benefit me. Um, but I gotta have a little fun here and there, like with this channel. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening to all this, and I hope I can see you guys again. Thanks for being patient, and thank you for your support. Just know that every single one of you guys are loved, and no matter how low a point you get to, there will always be someone who'll be there for you. Thank you.